later on lived in you'll hear more about him later on. And my Uncle Oliver, I'll tell you about him later on too. So I was talking about the bananas before that. Well, we lived with Grandma then in the house. Grandmother owned the house. She had inherited a lot of money. I mean, back in those days, it was a lot. I don't know what it was, but it was some. It was just some because she was able to buy that house. It had all been redecorated and redone, and it was nice. It's one of the few houses, one of the better houses in town that had a bathroom and running and hot water heater, and we had all the conveniences and a basement furnace in the basement. It was very, very convenient. Well, Grandma took care of us, and I was in kindergarten, and we had it was at Christmas time, and they were going to have they had a program, and we were supposed to tell our parents, so I forgot to tell my mother. And I was the only one that didn't have my mother there. When I saw that, I started to cry. And they said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I'm the only one that's mother isn't here." and I come home, I told Mother about it. And she said, "Oh," you know what she said? "Oh, goodness. You had your old shoes on. You should have worn your new shoes today." That was her reaction to it. I was telling you about my aunt. She'd sent my aunt Jack, we called her. Her name, they called her Jack because when she was in nurse's training, her name was Albina, and she didn't like that name. So everybody called her Jack. When she went into nurse's training, she was an RN. So she was so Aunt Jack had sent Uncle Frank a kite for the Easter. Well, she had to get a string to tie it onto. So she stopped in the hardware store, which is Pierce's hardware store, and Dad waited on her. And he thought, oh. So he asked her for a date. He had been married before, and his wife died of tuberculosis. And the day that Uncle Leo was married, his wife's funeral was right after the wedding. His mother had stayed for the funeral. Wasn't that a coincidence? They start dating, and they were married in, let's see, they didn't go together very long. Although they went together for about a year. And I had a birthday, and I wanted roller skates so bad. And this was before he was married to Mother. So he bought me a pair of rollers. He was trying to win us over, Frank and I. Frank used to say, "I had one, Dad. I don't want any more." But he won me over because he bought me some roller skates. And it was in the spring of the year, and we still had ice on the sidewalk, and he cleared the ice off the sidewalk, so I learned to skate. And I used those skates. I used them all till I left home when I went into nurse's training. And we used to we were living near Hubble. Hubble was about 1.5 miles away, and all the way to Hubble, there were sidewalks. So we used to ride our bicycles, not our bicycles, but our skates, all that distance, and back. That was a lot. And then when you take the skates off, after having them on that long, You felt like you still had them on your feet because that weight. And we spend a lot of time in the summertime doing that.
So what was it like when,
So
like what kind of stuff did you, well, so Grandma and Grandpa got married. I guess you should take it from there.
that what?
When Grandma and Grandpa got married, what time of the year was it?
Is September.
Did you go to the wedding, or do you remember?
It wasn't September. It must have been August. August, I think. I don't remember. It was early fall. And they went on a honeymoon, and they stayed in their honeymoon. They had a party towards the end of the time they were going to be there, and it was up at was it Eagle Harbor. They had rented a cottage, and they brought us up there for the party, and then Dad and I got to stay with them for the last couple of days that they were there. And he was so good to us. I mean, no one, if anyone mentioned that we were his stepchildren, he got real upset. We were his children. He never adopted us, but we were his children. And when he died, he said to Mother, before they died, they were making the will out. He said, "Now, they're my children. They share in whatever we leave."
Does she want to stay in bed for supper, or does she?
So when
Naomi?
after they had both died, wait a minute.